because he doesn't represent the people.
He's a murderer.
Oh, please.
Racist.
The point is this. We can only use our voices here to say, Congress, you have to do your job and keep this man out. He's insane. Whoever allowed a president to threaten Panama, Canada, Mexico, please keep the insanity out of the Oval Office. Thank you.
Hold your oath.
Thank you everybody so much. I just want to share a quote that somebody posted. Never doubt that a small group of committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. That was Margaret Mead. We have the most beautiful congregation this Sunday, this holy day of people committed to our country, our Constitution, our rule of law. And don't judge us by the numbers. As Adam Schiff, I'm going to quote him again, said in that second impeachment, he said a version of one of my favorite quotes in the world, and that's one with God is a majority. One with truth is a majority. One with principle is a majority. And to anybody that doubts the power of this movement, Josh and I discussed this because we have absolutely nothing to hide. I want to be really transparent about the amount of support, unbelievable support that has come from around the country and around the world. We put out a fundraiser on New Year's Eve. The production that we put on yesterday at the Lincoln Memorial and continuing today and starting on Friday cost in the range of $70,000. We raised that money from New Year's Eve. So that gives you an idea of how much support is behind this movement. I wanted to bring out my computer to just read some of the comments. But go onto my channel, Jessica Denson, the live streams from the past couple of days. Read those comments. You're going to see how many people from around the world wanted to be here, from around the country wanted to be here. Obviously, we're in bitter cold temperatures. We just had a few platforms promoting it. Mine, Cliff Cash, was amazing. We've got some other amazing friends on social media, Anonymous putting us out, but we have not, this is like the story of the ages, had mainstream news coverage to the story that matters most. So with those headwinds, with the people in so-called pro-democracy spaces pouring cold water and not using their massive million audience influence to help our movement, question where you're putting your attention and your money, people. Question in this moment, because the people who are not supporting the rule of law and the Constitution right now and just trying to keep themselves in business because, frankly, Donald Trump is good for their business, question where your support goes. Question it all over the media, from the mainstream media to alternative media, and really ask who was putting themselves out right now. And if they weren't, where the hell are they? Where the hell are they?
Where the hell are they?
We also just set up a press page on the nowmarch.org website. So the press, you can see the stories that have been published, and thank you to the outlets that have covered us, including Newsweek, Daily Dot, a few others. So we're appreciative of that coverage, and we are open to doing anything in our power in the next 24 hours to amplify this. And we are not giving up until that vote happens. So we are staying constantly involved. I also encourage anybody watching to go to the Jan 3rd Day of Action. The Day of Action is continuing. It never stops. So go to that page, click on that page on the nowmarch.org website. There is a link to your Congress directory, either the House or the Senate. There is a phone number to call the switchboard. Hound them, respectfully hound them incessantly until tomorrow and tomorrow morning. Call their offices, leave voicemails, leave emails, contact them through their website. I will remind you, I said this yesterday when we were there on Friday, our presence was felt. They knew who we were, they knew we were there, and they are hearing us, and they need to continue to hear us until that vote happens tomorrow. So please, please, in every way possible, keep up that pressure. We have the power, and the lawmakers have the obligation. They don't have a choice. The Constitution is not optional. I want to say some hard things to some people we admire, to our president, Joe Biden, to our vice president and candidate that we all supported, Kamala Harris. If they do not support the Constitution in this moment, and it really is everyone. It's Congress and it's all of our leaders. Their legacy is going to be forever marred. I mean, Joe Biden, let me tell you, my friend, your legacy is going to be one of genocide and handing over the country to dictatorship if you don't use the rest of your days in power to save this democracy. That is the hard, cold truth. And Kamala Harris, your legacy as a tough prosecutor and someone who stood up for the people is going to be a joke if you don't use every lever of power and every constitutional duty that you have, Miss Vice President, Madam Vice President, to uphold the Constitution in these final things, uphold the rule of law, do the hard work that is good work. Do it. Do it. We need it now. Our generations are in our ancestors in the past and the future generations are counting on you in this moment. And blood will be shed if you do not take the right actions, not just here, but around the free world. We need you to act now. This is the moment.
I want my children to be able to do this without fear of prosecution. That's right, and my I would go to jail in order to protest like this. I'm a nanny. I would tell everybody in the press, you just arrested Mary Poppins because she wanted to have justice done and freedom and democracy.
What do they say when they're sworn in?
Yes.
What's the
Your
first
oath.
thing they
Your
say
oath.
when they're sworn in?
Yes.
That they will uphold and protect the Constitution of the United States.
Against all
It's time to
enemies,
do that.
foreign and domestic. Absolutely. Yeah. Honor your oath.
Honor your oath.
Honor your oath.
Honor your oath. Honor your oath. Honor your oath. Honor your oath. Honor your oath. Honor your oath.
Yes.
Honor your oath. Honor your oath.
Yeah, and you know what? One thing that Donald Trump likes to say a lot, to quote the man to the extent that we have to, he likes to say, with his nonsense that he spews, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Well, we are what happens.
Yes.
We are what happens. That's why this movement is here. And Congress, you are what happens. It's up to you. You have a role in this. I just want to say to some of my friends, I'm going to call out some more people by name. Friends that I've had on Lights On, lawmakers that I adore greatly, Representative Jasmine Crockett, Representative Eric Swalwell. These are wonderful people. Your legacies are tied to your decision tomorrow. Your cable news hot takes are not going to save your legacy in the next 2 years, 4 years, however long we're going through this. You have to do it now. All of the social media likes that you get, all of the people telling you, wow, that's on fire, you know, Dem Star drops the hammer on Trump. Sorry, the clickbait isn't going to save your legacy in history. You got to take the action now. You have to do the hard work that's good work. You have to follow Timothy Snyder in his book on tyranny, that chapter that is quoted not nearly enough that says, stand out. Stand out. Somebody has to do it. Is it comfortable in the beginning? Maybe not. Is it easy? No. But stand out, start something, and people will follow because courage is contagious. We need that courage. We do not capitulate to violence in advance. We do not capitulate to tyranny in advance. We do what's right without fear of the consequences, and we trust that standing with truth and standing on the right side is an armor of protection. And that is the only thing that can save us. Anything else is dangerous. Anything else is violent. Anything else is a violation of the peaceful transfer of power.
Yes. Act now. Act now. Act now.
Act now. Act now. Act now.
We're talking a lot negative right now. I want to just talk about the positive that is on the horizon for these lawmakers. Do they understand what absolute heroes they would be? The kind of support that would come from this country and the world if they rise up tomorrow and object to Donald Trump's illegal presidency?
Yes.
Is it going to be
Hero.
will there be some uncertainty? Will there be some procedural chaos? Maybe. Will there be some, stochastic terroristic threats? Maybe, but that's why we have laws in place.
Yes, that's right.
That's why we have law enforcement.
Right.
We are not an anarchy. We can handle it.
Of course it
We
is.
have to uphold the rule of law. Can you imagine the kind of celebrations in the streets?
Oh my
there
gosh,
would
the
be
joy
tomorrow,
that would
the
return.
joy, the relief,
Yes.
the exhale.
Yes.
If these
Imagine
leaders
that.
stand up tomorrow and object, if a few patriotic Republicans join that objection
yes.
and get that majority that is required
In
to
your
uphold
favor.
it, can you imagine the accolades,
Oh my gosh, yes.
the praise that will come to these people if they do what's right?
Joy from even those who didn't vote.
Yes. Can you imagine the joy from the Trump supporters who now are regretting having voted against him because they know that hardship that our billionaire overlord Elon Musk has promised is actually coming, and their economic situation is not going to be any better. The joy from so many people who are not afraid of their neighbors being rounded up in concentration camps, from our members of our military who aren't worried about an unconstitutional order coming down from the commander-in-chief, from our neighbors in the free world in Ukraine and Eastern Europe, from our allies in NATO.
Yes. Yes.
Trump and Musk don't know the Constitution. How can they uphold it if they don't know it?
They don't care.
They don't care.
Right.
They just want to bulldoze over all of our freedoms.
Your money talks. That's what they hear.
Right.
We need heroes.
All right.
If we ignore the Constitution now, it's all meaningless.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like a joke. It's like a joke. If you don't do what it says right now in black and white, it's a joke.
Yeah,
if you
walk over
expect
here to
any text of that document to uphold any other freedom
Right.
that we have, any other safeguard that we have
Yeah.
in the next 4 years, the people out there that I respect, again, in the pro-democracy litigation space, who are saying we're going to fight like hell, we need to fight like hell right now. To me, it's a joke that we think that any of the laws that have functioned are going to function after this.
Right.
If we ignore the most consequential one that would allow a man who has zero allegiance to the Constitution, who will lead a deadly insurrection to overturn the will of the people, back in the White House in violation of it.
Right.
Let's
Right.
get back to truth and honor.
Don't let that happen.
That
Our
happened.
allies will celebrate if people in Congress are courageous.
Yes.
Everyone around the
The
world
world is
will be
watching.
so
The world is watching.
happy
The future is
that we
watching.
finally came to our senses. They'll be so full of admiration for our Congress's law.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the normal thing to do,
Opportunity.
right?
That's a happy thing.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
This is the right thing. This isn't the radical thing, although sometimes truth is radical.
It is. It
But
is.
this is the normal thing.
Correct.
It's not the extreme thing.
Right.
Silence is not normal.
No.
And, yeah,
The
the
capitulation
consequences for
is not
the wealthy
normal.
should be the same as the common people.
Yes.
In Congress, we know that you know better.
Yes.
And I just want to
know
put
it.
a shout out to the people around the world, South Korea, Romania,
Yes.
Georgia.
Yes.
The
Setting the
people-
stage. Yes.
Yes, for showing us how to fight back against a Russian takeover of a free country. We have to do this.
I want
We
to
have
shout out
do
to
it.
all our veterans who fought in wars to protect our Constitution. What message are we sending them? What message are we sending to the families of people who were killed in those wars? What is the message? What is this silence about? This silence is going to kill us and destroy America and destroy our freedom for future I'm here for my daughters, for my grandkids, and all of yours as well.
Yes.
This is so important. Send the right message. This is America.
Absolutely. Does anybody else? I'm going to wrap up so you guys can get out of the cold. But does anybody else want to speak before we
I'll
do?
share. Come on right up.
Please.
The greatest generation that gave law will be watching and judging what you do on January 6th.
I'd like a moment to speak. As quite possibly the youngest member of this here group, and as an American citizen and a descendant of Romanians, proud of Romania for having the spine to call out Calin Georgescu for his fraud on TikTok. They are redoing the election, they're delaying it. So our election process is not set in stone right now. There's still time. Call your representatives, call your senators. And thanks to the people from America who fought in World War II. Well, let me give you a little bit of an Eastern European perspective on why that was so important. You see, big, powerful governments from fascism and communism, they've ruined the country. But you know what? They've been beaten before. They'll always be beaten because they're weak cowards. Yes. Romania is now the headquarters of NATO. Despite that country having, as far as last time I checked, they may have a high percentage of childhood poverty, but they're healing. They're healing from Ceausescu's reign from the 80s, when Romania was underneath Putin's puppet control. They rose up in revolution in 1989. My parents survived all that. They came here to this country, and I'm here. We really have rights. We really can do something.
Let's do it.
Don't take your freedom for granted.
No, let's not lose our freedom.
You can call the people who are in the office. You wouldn't be able to call Putin and tell him what your plans are. You wouldn't be able to call Stalin. You wouldn't be able to call any dictators. Pol Pot, anybody. Talk to somebody who knows this history. Talk to somebody who's lived this history.
Defend our democracy.
Reject the certification of Trump.
Disqualified.
We really are
Disqualified.
I know things feel so unstable now. But what we have now, compared to what it could be with Trump, that will be chaos and violence. You don't want that. Nobody wants that, and nobody is really ready for that.
We don't want that.
We have the opportunity from the collective knowledge and history of humanity. We have the technology and the social connectedness and the power to avoid a horrible future right now. Call now, and not just call. Email on all the senators and Congress. They have their own official websites. You can message on their forums on there. You can email them. You can call them. Even if you just leave a voicemail or only talk to their staff, the more and more people that you get to call them, that we will get into their minds. We can encourage them to love the people more than they fear Trump.
Yes.
Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so
What a
much
beautiful
for
story.
your background
Beautiful story,
and the
yeah.
world perspective. There are so many ways, and like I said, respectfully hound them. And when I get off this live stream, I'll drop a new Resist bot into the description. You can text if you want to use your phone to Resist bot to do that one. You can, as I said before, and I'll reiterate again, go to nowmarch.org, our Day of Action page. The contacts for Congress are there. Do use every avenue possible in the next 24 hours.
Trump will be alone in the world.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you to everybody for being part of this.
If we throw away the Constitution tomorrow, we will never get it back.
Yes, thank you. Nowmarch.org. Thank you, everybody, so much for being with us. We are so, so grateful for your patriotism. Thank you. Thank you.